Coming up this month, Microsoft's .NET 10 RC1 is production ready. OpenAI partners with Oracle in a $300 billion mega deal. And China's new brain-like AI model might just change the game. I'm Eve Cogan. Let's get into it. Starting with something techie for the devs. Microsoft .NET 10 RC1 is polished and production ready. So it's the first of two release candidates with go-live support you can use right now. And it's that long-term, up to 3-year support you can have a little bit more faith in. It's supported by VS26 Insiders and VS Code. The focus is on the polish and not the features, but there are a few cool new features, including this post-quantum cryptography API compete. These are identity metrics and security upgrades to prepare .NET for future threats. If you're already using .NET 10 RC1, let us know what your favorite features are. Now moving across to the IDE that's making all of these features shine. Visual Studio 26 Insider. It's faster, it's smarter, and it's cleaner. This new Insiders channel replaces Preview, earlier features, and faster feedback. And it's been quite well received in the dev community. The leading comment is, this is a release you can feel from the moment you start using it. And AI that doesn't suck, finally. It's pretty cool because everything runs locally. No cloud calls, no latency, no sending proprietary code to Microsoft. NuGet MCP server. So what this does is it lets AI assistants fetch real-time package info. We're talking versions, vulnerabilities, updates. Now, speaking of LLMs, there's always something new happening in the AI space. China's Spiking Brain 1.0 is brain-inspired and being sold as up to 100 times faster than conventional LLMs. Spiking Brain 1.0 uses a localized attention mechanism, focusing on nearby words, kind of the way we skim read. It's claimed to run from 25 to 100 times faster than conventional LLMs with comparable accuracy. Something else worth noting is it runs on China's homegrown Meta X chips, not NVIDIA. It needs less than 2% of the data of mainstream models. It'll be very interesting to see how this reshapes the industry. Back into enterprise land, and the focus is on security. Azure's mandatory multi-factor authentication is starting in October, coming up very soon. So basically, Microsoft says this multi-factor authentication step can block 99.2% of account compromise attacks. It's becoming mandatory from October 1st. So if you're a sysadmin, get ready now or your automations might break. And in terms of security, Google is also tightening its rules for devs too. Under these new guidelines, developers distributing apps outside the Play Store on Android must verify their identity. We're talking legal name, ID, address, phone number. Now, I will note it's happening in a little bit. So in 2026, in Brazil, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand, they're going to be trialing this. If it works in 2027, that's going to go global. So there will be no more anonymous devs. And the idea of this is basically it stops scammers from re-entering the marketplace under names. It's a bit of a win for Android users, so you can have a little bit more faith in the apps that you're downloading and be sure that you're not going to get any kind of security breach. In a much anticipated antitrust case focusing on Google's monopoly, a judge has ruled that Google won't have to sell Chrome. Why? Because it was worried it would risk harming the product and the users. But it doesn't mean that Google has got off scot-free. The ruling bans exclusive make you use only Google deals, and it means that Google must share some search index and user interaction data with qualified competitors. Google is still allowed to pay for default placements, but it can no longer make itself the only option. That means if it's paying for default placement in the settings of your computer or in other certain apps, it has to allow for other options to still exist there. The rise of AI has also helped shape the ruling because the judge recognized that generative AI tools are now part of search competition and Google's going to have some brand new competitors. And AI is continuing to reshape the world, this time with a mega deal. OpenAI has partnered with Oracle for a $300 billion deal. Now, it's $300 billion over 5 years. And what it means is Oracle is supplying the compute. We're talking data centers, networking, hardware. It's a big win for Oracle, also a big win for OpenAI, because it locks in massive compute capacity for model training and deployment. So we can expect, hopefully, better and better products. And finally, let's finish with something fun for the creators, or maybe the wannabe creators. Google has released Nano Bananas. This tool allows you to edit images with plain text. You can change the background, you can adjust the lighting, you can swap objects. We can see here it's preserving the image of the woman's face and the dog's face pretty well, in a way that other generated images haven't really been able to get. A lot of them still have that AI feel. That's why it's more important than ever that we're able to identify when an image was authentically created or created by generative AI. That's where SynthID comes in. Now, this is Google's attempt at being able to watermark and identify content generated through AI. Now, we can see here it's joined the early waitlist and become a SynthID partner. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually works, whether it will be in the metadata, whether the onus will be on the creator of the image, or it will be a default. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's have a look at Fireship's review. Now, we can see some pretty glamorized images on the Google website, but when we have a look at an everyday person using it, these are some of the results.
And you can't lie about it because anything generated with Google has an invisible watermark called SynthID. What's kind of crazy about this model though is that it also has an understanding of the real world. Like if you point to a spot on Google Maps and ask what a person would see there, it can generate a realistic photo. Or if you're a visual learner, you can sketch with it step by step. Like you could use the sketch tool to map out your AWS infrastructure. It's also pretty decent at handling text, so you can easily turn your images into lame Instagram ads or memes. But it's still not perfect, so now let's talk about the bad stuff. As you can see in my ad here, it has a tendency to add extra characters to certain words. In addition, I found that it often didn't follow my prompt exactly and just kind of did its own thing. Or in many cases, it just ignored the prompt and did nothing at all. And I think even the character consistency is a bit overhyped. I tried it on a bunch of different images of real humans, and it still has that obvious AI uncanny valley look to it. And finally, as expected as a Google product, it's highly censored. Trying to generate anything that's not safe for work is not going to happen. But the best way to get the most out of these AI tools is to learn how they work under the hood.
So get out there and give Nano Banana a go. You can just upload images into your Google Gemini app. And that's all in SSW Tech news this month. There's always so much happening, so if we miss anything important, please feel free to let us know down below. Up next, we have SSW's very own JK with local intelligence, running LLMs natively, no cloud required. Over to you, JK.